I love house hacking. It's my favorite real estate investing strategy, and it's something I think everybody should do at least once. So what is house hacking? For everybody who doesn't know, house hacking is buying a property and renting out any space that you're not using. So it could be a single family house and you rent out all the bedrooms, or it could be a duplex, triplex, fourplex, you rent out all the other units except yours. Again, I think this is the most amazing strategy. I think everybody should do it. I think everybody should get started doing it as early as they can, and here's why. You will eventually reach a point where you're not able or you don't want to house hack anymore. I think this is probably a good thing. If you get to that point, it means you've probably done something right, especially if you've started early and you've done it a few times. So if you get to the point where you've house hacked 4, 5, 6 times, and you're like, hey, I met this amazing person, I'm ready to settle down, start a family, I've got more money than I need, I've got passive income from all my house hacks, I've built a bunch of net worth from all my house hacks, like I got this amazing head start on life. You know, I don't really think it's about retirement so much. It can be about retirement, but it can really just be about having freedom in your life, and house hacking gets you there. If you do house hacking a couple times, you will get to have freedom in your life. I guarantee it. It's worked for me. It can work for you. I've seen it work for dozens, maybe hundreds of others. But what I want to talk about today is get started house hacking and do it as often as you can for as long as you can, because eventually you are going to run into it. You don't want to house hack anymore for whatever reason, and that's totally okay. But there is some urgency when you get into house hacking. I had this immense urgency into house hacking. I did it 4 times. My girlfriend who I live with, we also did it once with her. And eventually we got to the point where we said, hey, we don't want to do this anymore. We want to start figuring out how we're going to settle down, maybe take the next step in life. And it just doesn't feel the same to do that in a house hack. So maybe I should have gotten started a few years earlier. Maybe I should have done it more rapidly. I couldn't really do it any more rapidly, but I could have shaved a few months off here or there. I think we really underestimate that. And what I see happen a lot of the times is people get into their first house hack and they get comfortable and they say, hey, this is great, I don't pay any rent. Maybe it's hard to find another deal like this. But they stop moving with the urgency that they had before. And why I encourage you to do that is because if you get into that first one and it goes great, do it again as quickly as you can. Do that several more times. The difference between having 1 house hack and 5 house hack is potentially millions of dollars over a long period of time, or you can roll those properties into bigger and better rental properties. So let's say you buy 1 house hack, do the next one, maybe do the next one. You say, hey, house hack number 1 has a ton of equity in it. Maybe I don't want to hold on to it anymore, but I want to roll that into an apartment building. So you take the equity out of house hack number 1, you roll it into an apartment building. You move into house hack number 4, you take the equity out of house hack number 2, roll that into an apartment building. There's so many options. Maybe you just keep all 5 or 6 house hacks and they pay themselves off over time. Maybe you take them and you sell them and you just have a bunch of cash. There's just almost no wrong way to do it, but you have so many more options the more times you do it. So I really encourage you, house hack, number 1, house hack, make sure you house hack. Get started as early as you can, but once you get started, keep that urgency and keep house hacking over and over, because that will give you endless options with your life. You can do anything you want. You could take those house hacks, you could roll them all into one big rental property that just pays you all the money you ever need, or again, you can let them pay themselves off over time and have an amazing passive income stream and a net worth of millions and millions of dollars just by house hacking a few times.